Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about something a little bit different because I thought this is freaking weird and I've seen it trending. Basically, Gen Z is trying to make the iPod Shuffle a thing again.
But it looks like they're trying to make it a fashion statement.
A fashion statement. So we had millennials bringing back vinyl, okay, which I'm actually very happy about.
Yeah, that was still funny. I can tell that story real quick about Goodwill real quick.
You can tell me.
I know I said it before, but it still amused me so much when I went to Goodwill that day and I said about the people coming in, they were dressed like in 70s clothes and you're like, oh my God, are they going after the vinyl? And I turn around, the guy's literally on the floor spreading all the vinyl records. Oh yeah, definitely that age range. All the vinyl around him, going through each one, like making a big show of it too. It was hilarious. Now this is what's going to happen with these.
Yeah, so apparently this is a TikTok thing. We're gonna talk about that because it was trending, and I'm just kind of like, what?
So Instagram's a millennial thing, and TikTok's a
Zoomer thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, apparently. Now we're getting like really old because we're in the Zoomer stuff now. So we're gonna talk about the resurgence of the iPod Shuffle, and we'll give some anecdotal stories about our
iPod Shuffle debacle?
Shuffle debacle. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 251,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about technology sometimes. I just thought this is really interesting because I saw it trending. I'm like, what is the deal with iPod Shuffles? And Ethernet cables. They're making Julia.
Ethernet cables too.
Yeah.
I wonder what was up with that thing on her face.
Yeah, she's going for like Kylo Ren.
Hey, you know, on the plus side, at least they're upcycling things.
I'll give you that.
You know, that you're taking stuff that would have gone to waste, and you're using it for something else that's going to probably go to waste in like 2 years. But still. Yeah.
So now, for those of you who are very young and don't remember the iPod Shuffle, it was basically kind of a stripped back version of the iPod that you could put 1,000 songs in your pocket, which was a big deal back in the day. And this was before everybody was rocking a cell phone that did basically the same thing, making standalone iPods.
We didn't have the smartphones like we do now.
We didn't.
Then.
No, because we're going to take the iPod and we're going to add a phone to it.
Yes.
And there we go. That's you know. Then we had the iPod Touch, which was basically just an iPhone, which I have one of those too. An iPod Touch, an iPhone without the phone, which made no sense. And
yes, I can see it in my head. I know what it is.
And then, in the case of mine, we had to put that in the freezer to get the screen to work.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So we had multiple iPods before we finally upgraded to smartphones, and the first iPod I had was actually this Shuffle, the one that looked like the stick of gum. And I love that thing. I used to take it to work. I actually worked a quasi-government job, and we weren't allowed to have music, or radio, or anything.
Or anything fun.
Anything fun.
Fun was banned.
Fun was banned there. I mean,
it was the Department of Meisterburger.
It was. It was very dry, but I would load it up with my paranormal podcast.
No one likes it dry.
Nobody likes it dry.
No.
Especially when you're dealing with the government and they're giving it to you dry.
God, the government already is dry. You need to wetten that up somehow.
So that's what my iPod Shuffle did. It made me wet and got me through the day.
I was gonna say moisten that up, but my mom would probably be mad because she hates that word.
Moisten.
But she's gonna hear it now anyway.
Moisten. So I would load it up with a bunch of podcasts. I'd listen to podcasts all day. And while I did my busy work, and it was a good time. But I had to work my ass off for this. I actually got.
Oh my God, yes.
So I actually got this through like some coupon site or something.
It was some site
like
that we had points, and we had got it through that.
Swag Bucks, was that what it was?
I don't remember. It might have been
something like that.
And we earned the points, and then it never came. And I took the points, and we had to pay. Do we have to pay some extra money on top of it? I think we might have. I don't remember, for shipping or something.
Yeah.
But we never got it. And then you had to go to like the Attorney General.
I went to the Attorney General of the state of Pennsylvania to get my damn iPod Shuffle, and because I had government contacts anyway, so I'm like, what the hell? I'll call the Attorney General up, and I got it. I don't know if anybody else got theirs, but a lot of people were like, yeah, we spent like months trying to get enough points to get our iPod Shuffle, and nobody did. And they're like, oh, the company, well, we went out of business, and it's like, give me my damn iPod.
I forget what the reasoning was, but you did get it eventually.
I got it. They sent it to me, yeah. And they actually sent it to me, and then they sent a certified letter to the Attorney General saying that they made good on it. But it was like they were like all kinds of song and dance. It wasn't just me either. It was like all the people that were on this one message board were like, Yeah, basically the demand was so much higher than they thought it was going to be that they just stopped answering emails. And
That's kind of like when I got the Frilly Frogs.
oh, the
From
My Little Pony. Yeah, explain people.
Yeah,
Big plushie.
My Little Pony, when they had the G3s out, they had this giant Frilly Frogs. It was like 3 foot tall My Little Pony. And they said that she was going to come out, but you had to have all these My Little Pony points. They figured, well, people weren't going to have that kind of My Little Pony points. But they forgot that they had these little coloring books that had all kinds of points on it that you could get at the Dollar Tree for $1 each. So people like me went and got spent like $20-$30, got all the points and had them on day one mailed to them for this Frilly Frogs. Well, they weren't coming for like weeks, and we had them call and call and call, and that they ended up turning it off so people couldn't get them. But I did get one. Not many people did get them, but I got one. But they probably didn't shut me up. But that's what it reminded me of, and I did get one, but I had to really harass them to do so. Not related. Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah. So it was a debacle. But so after the stick of gum version was out, they had the clip-on version. That's the version that the kids had.
Yeah, the kids had that one. Yeah.
The clip-on versions. They were interesting because you never could tell exactly what song was playing. You had to like go through your whole playlist to find the songs.
Well, that's kind of the one you wanted too. It wasn't until you had one on the screen that you could actually see it.
Yeah.
The one that you had to put in the freezer.
The one I had to put in the freezer, yeah, because the screen started to go bad. But if you put it in the freezer, it would actually work.
It's true. I forgot all about that.
It would overheat, and the screen would do some weird things. Anyway, millennials are bringing back the shuffle. And apparently this is a TikTok thing. They were pretending that they didn't know what they were. I'm like, no, you were kids. Like I said,
our kids had them. Bullshit, you didn't know.
Our kids are Zoomers, and they each had one.
And
when they were very little. So yeah, I think
our kids are younger than these people for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So anyway, this is coming from the information. Millennials brought back vinyl. Gen Z is reviving the iPod Shuffle and Ethernet cables.
We got a bunch of Ethernet cables somewhere, don't we? I know my dad does.
Oh yeah, I got tons of them too.
I should turn them into clothes.
So here this girl is compulsively refreshing eBay, watching prices rise and fall on one specific product. Vintage.
They're not vintage.
Vintage iPod shuffles.
I wouldn't even say that's vintage.
Vintage iPod shuffles.
Well, I guess what vintage like 20 years ago. So
no, they're from the late 2000s.
Yeah,
like we're talking 12, 13 years ago. I mean, come on. He's trying to say they're antiques. Oh, this all tracks. Vaden, a 23-year-old Starbucks barista from Illinois, finally pulled the trigger in December, purchasing a pack of 2 shuffles for $11.50. She didn't know whether the tiny music players worked or if she could even hunt down the charger. No matter, she was planning to use the iPods as hair clips.
Which I think is a cool way to reuse iPods. But I'm like, they act like, looking for the rise and fall, $11.50 for 2. I'm like, that's not much.
So
Goodwills.
Apparently they're not tipping very well at Starbucks these days. So she captioned the video, "My new favorite accessory, #iPod Nano."
I think that's a cool idea. I actually like that.
The original TikTok now, it wasn't a nano, it was a shuffle, not a nano. The original TikTok now has 2.1 million views. A lot of people love it, but a lot of people, they hate it because it makes them feel old. It's not that old.
Speaking of feeling old and doing cool things, people were buying up old Nintendo cartridges that were bad, that didn't work anymore, or Nintendo controllers, and they were turning them into different things like purses and cool, fun things like that. And I thought that was awesome.
Beanie Babies are making a comeback. We
better get down to
YouTube.
I can get as many as you want, probably from the garage sales around here in Goodwill's.
Oh my God, you can
grab some.
Well, they were. What was going on was YouTubers were buying like plastic totes full of Beanie Babies, and then they're going out to eBay to see what they're worth.
So that's what you do. You become an influencer, right? In quotes, and then you just pick something that's cheap ass, and that you have access to a lot of it. Get a lot of it, then say make it cool again, and then you control the market.
Clownfish TV is going to make 8 tracks cool again. Actually,
no, we're not.
Actually, we did buy a bunch of new sealed 8 tracks.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yes,
and we sold them for pretty good money because people
got them at Goodwill.
Yeah, people collect 8 tracks, and we had some pretty good stuff in there, and it was all sealed. Everything was sealed.
I want to go to Goodwill shop. I love to go thrift stores, but right now I try to avoid it because I'm trying not to go to stores too much because of everybody getting sick. But anyway.
She's part of a wave of creators in their teens and early 20s, bringing back now obsolete technology for aesthetic purposes.
It's not new.
They did this with iMacs too. I remember they were turning iMacs into fish bowls.
Fish bowls and stuff like that. This is not new. They're part of a new wave. It's not new.
I have to go get my old iMac, the lamp iMac. I should turn it into an actual lamp.
You should. I could probably do that for you.
Make it like the Pixar lamp.
I'd probably do that for you. But you
it's
have to
a
make sure you
paper
have
right
everything
now.
out of it that you want. But I probably can turn that into a lamp.
I'll just rip the hard drive out of it.
Because if I can't, I get my dad and he'll help me do it. But this is not a new thing. People have been doing this forever. They've been calling it upcycling for at least 20 years plus now.
Yeah.
At least.
So many people are angry about it, which I think is crazy. Why are they angry about
Why
it?
would you be angry about using iPod Nanos or shuffles or whatever the hell they're using for hairbreadths? I think it's a very cute idea.
Fashion's trend cycles are famously rehashed every 15 to 20 years, and Casey Lewis, who writes the youth culture newsletter After School, thinks the current movement similarly tugs on nostalgia for a technologically simpler pre-social media era. No,
it does. It's just
there was MySpace. We had Yahoo Messenger.
Nostalgia. I don't think the technologically simpler is necessary. The nostalgia thing is, I think, what it's at, because we see it every so many years. Like, they try to bring something back and it looks cute. Like, I know there's this one company that makes charm bracelets and they look like the old 80s charm bracelets. And I love them. And I've really been thinking about buying one, but then I'm like, am I too old to buy that? But I'm like, I don't really know if I really care because they're really cute. It's about nostalgia. It's nothing about the technology. It's about nostalgia.
Okay, so I get that people, usually your early 20s, especially, you start to get nostalgic for being a kid. Because I know, I got sucked into that with, there was a lot of nostalgia bait in the 2000s with 80s stuff coming back. Transformers and G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles.
Looks around the studio, yeah.
Looking around the studio, He-Man, 2002 He-Man. They knew. It was like, okay, it's been about 15, 20 years. Time to all these kids now, they have jobs now, so they can afford to buy this stuff.
I think our generation's the one that really, played into that whole nostalgia thing, more so than others.
I think here's the thing. I'm not saying that it doesn't count when you're younger, but to say that there was no social media back then is not true.
They said that?
Yeah, they said it's pre-social media. It said people are tired of the internet and the pace. The Facebook of it all right now. We had MySpace. It was worse than Facebook.
Yeah. No, there was social media before this.
We had
message groups before that.
Message boards. There was actually it was like the Wild West.
There was dedicated things that were just message boards, and they were pretty much Facebook.
Yeah, garbage tier websites, Usenet.
Oh my God, I'm having a midlife crisis and I'm only 18. Oh my God.
Yeah, IRC, all this stuff was a thing back then. Hell, even when I was in high school, Prodigy and AOL were a thing. Not everybody had it, but
I remember we had AOL. I remember just kids when I would teach or whatever. I know our daughters in this for too. They'd be 11 and back when I was a kid, and I'm just I want to hug you so much because you're so cute.
Trend forecaster Mandy Lee went viral on TikTok for describing lo-fi tech as part of a return to what she calls indie sleaze.
Indie sleaze.
An umbrella aesthetic.
Sorry.
That needs to be the name of a publisher, indie sleaze.
Oh, no, that describes. That's more of a descriptor.
An umbrella aesthetic that encompasses the years 2005 to 2015. That was a good time period.
There was a lot of growth there. Especially a lot of things came out then.
That was early internet. That was when
things. It wasn't early internet.
It was the internet was in its early 20s at that point. It was kind of
It wasn't. Yeah, internet was around way before that.
Yeah, I know, but that was this is when everybody started to make it part of their daily.
Precursor to what you have now. Is
yes.
What you're trying to say. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Precursor to the shitstorm that is current year internet. It's represented by Tumblr, flash photography, American Apparel, and opulent displays of parties. So is this part of why Tumblr is coming back now too? Oh my God, I want to do Tumblr again.
Oh, they're talking about the rich kids that would pour all the champagne in the bathtub and that shit. So they're talking the opulent displays. Yep. I think the iPods as hairbreadths like they have here are cool. I think that'd be even better if they actually made sure they got working ones, because then you could charge them, put a pair of earbuds in there, and then just, old ones, and then just put it in your ears, and it comes right to your head. You're attached them to your head. I think that is a perfect way to carry it. I think you're missing an opportunity here. You need to make sure those are workable.
So it says become a statement, an activist statement. With every passing year, as technology improves upon itself, there's an ironic kitsch element to when you're openly using old technology. Because you could get an iPhone, but you're choosing to use a Motorola flip phone. It's choosing to appear a certain way and signal a certain thing. Virtues signal a certain thing. What are they signaling? Well, aside from irony, sustainability. And the constant churn of technological advancements.
But they're not new to this.
No. The trend also gives members of Gen Z an element of control over an industry that exerts constant pressure on their daily lives. I feel like
please.
using technology as an artistic form is a way to reclaim it.
You know what? I gotta tell you, this is nothing new. Artists have used technology as an expressive form, depending on the technology for their time period, for centuries. It's not new. Wait, what the hell? She's wearing a keyboard as a top.
Okay.
Again, you didn't invent this. Not the keyboard part as a top, but like the using the old DVDs or CDs and stuff. People use those. They break them up. They use them for backsplashes in their houses and stuff. People use them for like sun catchers. They've been upcycling these stuff for years. You are not inventing anything.
Wired it girls with all their really
no
old
makeup.
They're really old. They're old 10-year-old tech.
Yep, and then no makeup look.
You know what's gonna happen, right? Apple's gonna bring them back out.
They're saying 2010, 2014, the era of Tumblr. I didn't like it was.
Oh my God, they are!
I saw that.
Oh yeah, you see the increasing popularity of wired headphones is both an example of the return to 2010 to 2014 Tumblr.
Well, I guess I'm flipping cool because I always use wired headphones because they annoy me otherwise. I don't like the ones that you put the earbuds and they hurt my ears.
Well, they're going to love shadow binders because it is always 2010.
Yeah, we have flip phones in it.
We have flip phones.
Oh my God, we're popular again.
We're popular again. Look at that.
We were so dated, and now we're like, yes, it's come back around.
Everybody's like, oh my God, they've got flip phones. I'm like, yeah, because it wouldn't really work otherwise. I don't think, because she could just Google shit on her phone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, no, she's got a flip phone, and even then, like kids having their own phones in 2010 was kind of a rare thing. I remember
it was more common than that.
It was, but it was like, I remember, used to do caricatures at festivals and stuff. And this is, 2008, 2009. I was like, man, these kids have better phones than I have, and
that's true.
Yeah, it was crazy, like doctors' kids or whatever. I was like, holy hell, how'd you get that?
Our kids always had headphones for years.
Yeah, now flip phones are kind of coming back. They got those screens that
right. So we're cool ahead of time.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the flip phones. Yeah, like the ones they have that they open up and it makes like the wide screen and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. But I think this is funny because they're basically doing what every time there's a new trend like this, they're like, oh my gosh, because they're doing this new thing called recycling the stuff and keeping it out of landfill. And I'm like, they've been for years. So you're the recent incarnation of it.
I'm just sitting here again, going back to shadow binders. I'm like, so we ever get a show or a movie, even if it's like 20 years from now, it's taking place in 2010. Just so we can say, look, we brought flip phones back.
That's right. It was because of us.
Earbuds back.
And our books happen to come out recently again. Well, coincidence? Probably. But I'm going to say not.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
we're gonna wrap this up.
I'm actually into the iPod, into the shuffle.
You have them somewhere. Kids have
I'm into the headgear because I seriously think you could turn them into a Brett and you could still make them usable. And I think that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I like that hat. We have so much Ethernet cable somewhere. My dad has a bunch of it. So hey, Mom, when you take a listen to this, tell Dad he should start breaking that out and you make it the fashions, and then we can get rich.
There we go. This is our face reveal. We're gonna be wearing.
What is that supposed to be?
Kylo Ren. I don't know. Are we gonna wrap it up?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.